All right, let's get this over with because I got a lot to do.
I got you, babe.
Let's do this. For anyone who's known me a long time, you're probably already familiar with this book. While it looks like a diet book, it's not. It's sort of a half memoir, half essay, somewhat humorous book about my own dieting ups and downs over the years. One early reviewer called it Dave Barry-esque, which at the time I found flattering because I've read a lot of Dave Barry and always enjoyed his style and humor. And if you don't know who Dave Barry is, then I don't know what to tell you. You Google it. Anywho, one of the features of my dieting ups and downs is called Day One, or as me and my siblings sometimes like to call it, I'm back on. Now, astute viewers will have already noted that I wouldn't even be bringing this up at all unless another Day One has already happened, which it has. I've lost count how many, so let's just call this Day One number 1001. So why so many Days One? Well, it's because there's a cycle to it. Let's take a look. 1, kick off a new diet and or exercise program. 2, stick with it for anywhere from an hour to a year. 3, fall off the wagon, either gradually or sometimes right over a cliff. And 4, wallow in misery and regret until... Alright, let's get this over with because I got a lot to do. Alright, it is Day One again. It is time to put aside all my old bad eating habits and start new good eating habits and exercising too. I'm going to do it this time. I'm really going to do it this time. I have a plan for it too. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's just the basic tried and true eat less and move more plan that works for a good number of people who try it and stick to it. So I said Day One again. Which implies that this isn't the first time I've done this. Nope, this is just all part of an all too familiar cycle. It goes something like this. 1, kick off a new diet and exercise program. 2, stick with it for anywhere from an hour to maybe a year. 3, fall off the wagon. And 4, wallow in misery and regret until... Alright, let's get this over with because I've got a lot to do. I am all fired up because it is Day One again. I am going to set aside all my old bad habits and put together some new good habits. I'm going to eat less and I'm going to exercise more. And no, it's not the first time I've done this. It typically goes like this. 1, I get all fired up about a new plan. 2, I stick to it from anywhere from an hour to a year. 3, I end up falling off the wagon. And then 4... Alright, let's get this over with because I got a lot to do. It's Day One again. I am going to set aside all my old bad habits and I'm going to pick up some new habits. I'm going to eat right and exercise. So yeah, it's a pattern. And I've got the receipts. I have the receipts in the form of an Excel workbook that goes all the way back to when I was 24 years old. So I have been doing this and tracking this for a long time. It's hard to believe that the book came out 19 years ago. Maybe I'm due for an update. Maybe not. It's not very compelling reading when it's just the same thing over and over and over and over. I'll think about it. Okay, so since I'm starting a new one, that means things have gone bad recently. Now, in my mind, in my failing brain, I think they went bad like at the start of the pandemic. Like I was doing great between 2017, 18, 19. And then what it feels like is I hit a low at the beginning of 2020, and then I've just taken this steady line all the way up to today. But that is what's known as fuzzy memories. And if I only had my fuzzy memories to rely on, then that would be my reality. But the not failing part of my brain has been keeping data points that entire time, so I can actually go back and see what really happened, and I don't have to rely on, well, it just feels like I just kept getting bigger and bigger. Now, it feels like I just went from low to high over that period of time, because the start and end points are about all I recall on a day-to-day basis. The day-to-day basis obscures the fact that, no, there were ups and downs along that entire thing. You can see them here. I made at least 4 different attempts to course correct over this period. So if I just look at the start and end, it looks like a failure. That's because it is a failure. But if those 4 big course corrections weren't in there, then today's graph would look a lot worse. So I hesitate to call the entire thing a failure just because the first point was so much lower than the last point. I try to keep this graph in mind as I frame my definition of failure, because it could have been a lot worse. So a week ago, on Monday, January 26th, 2026, I kicked off what I'm calling Day 1, number 1001. And for what feels like the first time in forever, I had a good week. I did. I had a good week. It's just one, but it is a start. So I think that's where I'll just wrap things up this week. Just to show you why last week was a good week, let's look at all the weeks that weren't good. All right. Stay fresh, cheese bags.